then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. And now, when I got you, it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight. What a time to be alive. Just you and I. Just you and I. Only you can put the fire out. You can turn it all around. You can lift me off the ground so we can fly again. 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 I've been trying hard not to go out of my mind. And all I need right now is for you to stay the night. But if you keep saying that you've got to leave, then I'm gonna be alright. As long as you tell me that we ain't running out of time. Thinking about all the things we did tonight. What a time to be alive. Just you and I. Just you and I. Only you can put the fire out. You can turn it all around. And you can lift me off the ground so we can fly again. 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 We can fly again.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
My sweet cheeks feeling squeaky clean. When Charmin's rolling behind the scenes, Charmin tea begins.
Hey folks, happy Monday. How you doing today? Sorry, Spotify has ads. I don't pay for the premium service. So, how's everybody doing? Don't get the point of the diamond thing. Sorry, not sure exactly what diamond things you're talking about, but let me know. I'd be happy to answer that. Yeah, good evening. Glad you folks found the lecture. Yeah, as I think I mentioned the bits. Oh, how you can earn channel points, you mean? Hey, undecked wig. There we go. All right. Yeah, hopefully you are all here for 1500, Introduction to Programming. Here we go. Let's see. I think we found it. So this is D2L. This is our course tool for the class here. Let's see. Probably close out some of this other stuff. I don't need everything open here. All right, let's see. Good. Need a couple of these things here. All right. Yeah, we have a pretty full class. I had 30 people earlier, and I think one dropped today. Not sure. Maybe it was a registration issue. So we've got a full class. Oh, come on. Can't log in and see my roster here. There we go. Yeah, 29 out of 30 seats are taken today, so that's good. That works out pretty well. Hey, happy Monday, everybody. Hope you're doing well. So I'm Eric. Hopefully you got this email or saw the announcement here or got the other email I sent today. You did find the place. I'm not a fan of Zoom in terms of delivering lectures. And most of this course is lecture-based, basically all of it. There was a portion when we would teach this class in person that was more of like a lab-style in-person exercises, and I really do miss that. And I haven't found a great way to replicate that. So please don't worry, I'm not going to talk until 9:45 p.m. lecturing at you for 3 hours and 45 minutes. That would even put me to sleep. So the goal is to go for about 2 hours, 2.5, maybe 3. I'm really hoping to never go that long for lectures, and then turn it over to you folks to have time to practice some of these things. There's lots of great exercises you can do in the textbook, which I forgot to grab. Let's see, where is that? No, I misplaced it. Had it earlier, and now I don't see it. Huh. Anyway, we'll find it in a minute. It's got a pineapple on the front. I'll show you in a second. Really? Oh, I know where it is. My son is borrowing it. That's why. Yes. So, yeah, hi, I'm Eric. I think I said that before. And we'll talk a little bit about the class tonight, and then we'll get into the initial chapter here. So let me just show you around real fast here in Desire to Learn. This is our course tool for the class. So everything that happens, everything official will happen in D2L. Announcements will show up here. Assignments will be submitted here. Tests will be taken here. Projects will be submitted here. Quizzes will be done here. All of that good stuff. So my general rule of thumb is that if it didn't happen in D2L, it didn't happen. Okay? So the due date in D2L is the due date. If I say something different, please ask. And don't be afraid to ask, because I do make mistakes often, I guess. That happens. We're just people. I do have office hours via Discord, and I have a survey for you folks to take. It's not really a survey. It's this tool called When to Meet. So if you take a peek at this, I put the link in Discord here. You throw in when you are available. I said anytime 9 to 5 and 10 p.m. to midnight, I can possibly have office hours. I'm a very late person. I'm not an early person at all. So anything before 9 a.m. is probably a no-go. That's just what it is. So I wasn't going to offer that because the odds of me sleeping through that are very high, especially in the summer semester when we're up even later than usual. So that link is in the Discord. I'll post it in D2L as well as the session wrap-up today. I'll post that for you folks. So go ahead and join the Discord. That is optional. You're not required to, but this is a great place to hang out and ask questions. It is open publicly, so please, again, use a handle. You don't have to use your real name. Nobody needs to do that. And I have gotten some feedback that being able to use a handle on Twitch and on Discord actually made people feel more free to ask questions because no one's going to judge them. And honestly, I'm terrible at matching names to usernames, and I won't remember who you are because your real name will be attached to stuff you submit in D2L, not your handle. So if that makes you more comfortable asking questions, great. Happy to have them. So, and jump in anytime, chat here in Twitch chat if you'd like. There is a channel in Discord called Lecture Voice Chat. So if you are more comfortable asking questions via voice, I can hop in there and turn that on, and then your voice will come through on the stream here and with your question. That way you don't have to chat it all in Twitch. And that should be fine. If it becomes an issue, obviously I'll take care of it and ban people and mod as I need to, but I don't often have an issue with trolls, and I'm happy to get rid of them quickly. And attendance is not required. Hey, Debo stuff. Yeah, attendance is not required, so you're welcome to just watch the exports or the VODs. The VODs are available on Twitch for about 45 days, but I do export everything over to YouTube to keep it for longer terms. At one point, I had someone upset with me that the week 2 lecture was not available when they were taking their final exam because they wanted to go back and watch the video or something. I don't know. So sure, I'll put everything out on YouTube, and that's fine. So they'll be available for you to watch whenever, if you prefer the asynchronous format. As I know, some people like synchronous, some people like asynchronous. It's up to you. I would strongly encourage you to come to the synchronous sessions because it's much easier for you to ask questions and elaborate on and give more examples while we're talking about something. Vicky, you're going to ban the word online. Okay, I will try my best to not use the word, that word. Interesting. Okay, I will try. Yeah, hey, it's okay. We are synchronous right now. We're synchronous. I should go restrict how many times that can be used in an hour or something. So you're going to take all my synonyms. All right, so I've actually been using Twitch longer than the pandemic has been around, because I thought it was a fun platform. I'm a giant geek, a nerd. Sure, I'll accept all those proudly, and I had been watching all sorts of people on Twitch previously. Started years ago with Day 9 when he would stream StarCraft and do all sorts of fun stuff there. So if you'd like to ask questions over voice instead of typing, Tam New, you can hop in on Discord, or ask me other times. But if you have questions you want to ask during these live lectures, I can definitely hop in there and figure out if I can make that work or not. Let's see. It should work. I haven't actually tried it before. But let me know. Let me know if you want to try that. I'll have that open and see. Yep. All right. Yeah, try not to chat here in Discord in class, because it's difficult for me to watch lots of different chats. Would you prefer Twitch? Man, I'm saying the wrong things here. Okay. Yep. So you can hop in there, and we can go from there for questions. So we're going to take a look at the syllabus. I know it's really boring. I'm sorry. I want to go over the highlights. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. And then we'll actually jump into some introduction to Java and computers. It's lots of fun. Okay? So that's the plan. Again, aiming for 8 to 9-ish, closer to 8 if better, is better, so that you have time to practice some of these things. We've got all sorts of tools to install today, and I'll show you how to install all of those so that you can get the software that you need up and running. So I'm going to flip over here to content, and here in the course information, great, we've got the syllabus, we've got my little profile page here if you haven't Googled me yet, and we've got the link for the textbook. Here we go, we can take a look at this. This is just copied out of the syllabus, but sometimes it's easier to find here. So this is our book, the Gaddis book. Whoa, look at all those emotes flying through. I think someone just followed, maybe. Still don't know exactly how this all works. I just switched over to using Stream Elements for some fun later. So if we just go Google this ISBN, find it from your favorite reseller. This edition should have... Oh, the 7th is the peach, I'm sorry. Is the 6th the pineapple? Maybe the 6th was the pineapple. All right, so the 7th edition here, the peach. The 6th edition is fine as well. The difference is mainly in his graphical user interface programming, which we've only referenced. We take a different approach. Yeah, the winter semester finished. This is the summer semester, King Assassin. Yep. So 6th or 7th edition. 7th is the official one. You'll be able to find this one at the bookstore. It is expensive. I apologize. That sucks. You can get cheaper copies used. You can rent it if you like to rent things. That sort of thing. But even the 6th edition is fine because the main difference is in the GUI chapters here. So that's what this says. The 6th or the 7th should be fine. Okay? So that's it. I can go over my profile. I mean, you guys can click on that too. If you like digital books, go for it. If you don't like digital books, don't get the digital one. It's totally your preference. Either is perfectly fine. I like that it's cheaper to rent, but then you don't get to keep it. But again, I don't think many people keep their books for reference anyway. So if you have a cheap link, you can't post that there in Twitch, but you're welcome to post legitimate links there in Discord if you want. Okay? Yeah, take that over to Discord or direct messages, whispers there in Twitch. 0, it should be the same login as your online services that you used for registration. Hydration, thanks so much, King. And a posture check, you're always looking out for me. Appreciate it. We have this awesome little spine board here that goes behind my cheap chair. All right, there we go. Yeah, 0, you should be able to log into D2L. If you just register for the class today, it won't show up until the nightly sync. But other than that, you should be fine. And I can, if you just shoot me an email, I can send you all the things that you need. Okay? I can send you attachments if you need them. All right, office hours is TBD. Again, fill out this when to meet form here. I'll post the link. It's in Discord. I'll post it again later. Like, when is a good time for you? And, excuse me. So fill this out and I'll try and pick. I've got 5.5 hours to fill. I have 20 minutes of office hours for every credit that I teach, and I signed up to teach 16 credits this summer. So I'm live Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, and I'm going to have dinner before that. So between 9 and 5 and then like 10 to midnight, I'm open and available. If you folks want me to have standing office hours for you to drop in, that's great too. We can make that work. So I'm going to ignore anything that's 5 to 10 because I have class Monday through Wednesday, or Monday through Thursday, and then I'm just not going to do anything Friday around dinner time. But Java version, we use the OpenJDK. I believe it's version 16 is the current latest release right now, because I think Oracle charging people for Java is terrible, and I'm not going to use their Oracle provided JDK. All right, cool. So we got the book. My profile's there. You can go find it. Our meeting times, again, synchronous, optional. If you prefer asynchronous, great. I do encourage you to come synchronously because it is easier to ask questions and get answers, but you can always ask me other times. So they're publicly broadcast, all archive on YouTube. I finally got enough subscribers last semester to have my own URL here, or my name in the URL instead of the gibberish one. So you can always catch them on YouTube as well. The course catalog description, great. Hopefully you saw that when you registered. There were no prereqs. And then our educational outcomes, some critical thinking. And then specific to this course, we'll use IDE. I'm going to use NetBeans in class and show you how to use NetBeans. We'll use the debugger. We'll edit, compile, and run a program. Oh, that's right. Thank you so much, Tim. So we also have a study group. It's in the syllabus quiz now, believe it or not, Tim. So once you get added to D2L there, you'll see it. We have the fortune of having a supplemental instructor along with us who has been in my class before and knows all things Java. He's an amazing tutor. So he gets to come hang out in class with us and then run study group sessions. Did you land on a time? I think you said Wednesday 5 to 6. I just emailed the ASC about that. Sorry, Tim. I forgot to check earlier in the day. So we'll get you in shortly. But if you shoot me anything you want to communicate out, I can send all that out tonight as well. So we're going to have supplemental instruction sessions once a week that you can come to, and you can actually earn a bonus point on the quiz. I'll talk about the quizzes in just a minute here for attending those sessions, because I was super excited when the Academic Sports Center said, hey, we want to have a supplemental instructor in your class and run study group sessions. I said, sweet, that's so cool. Yeah, Wednesday 5 to 6 unless voted otherwise. That sounds good. Because trying to do it before class is great when we're in person, but honestly, like trying to sit through an hour of study group and then listening to me for 2 to 3 hours and then trying to do some practice in one night, you're just going to be fried. There'll be a link for accessing the study group sessions. So there'll be a Zoom link for that. And is that what you were asking for, Yule? Yule and Caw? Yeah. Yeah, so the ASC has actually done some studies here through our internal research group, institutional effectiveness or something, and they have data to prove that students who attend study group sessions perform better academically and get better scores. So I was super excited, and actually that's probably the only reason I passed Calc 2, because of the study group sessions. I had to take it twice, just recently, actually, within the last couple years here, as I was getting back into school. And thankfully we had SI sessions, and that was phenomenal. So definitely encourage you to attend those if you can. It looks like we're shooting for Wednesdays from 5 to 6. You don't have to attend the entire hour, but more than like 10 minutes is kind of what I'm expecting for you to earn that bonus point. And Tim will let me know who attends and who doesn't. We've got a little attendance page going. Anyway, so our course outcomes, right? We'll use an IDE. We're going to use NetBeans. And then we'll probably define constants, variables, primitive data types, understand the use of these variables with related operators, type conversions, basic input output operations. That one's a big mouthful. It's all stuff we're going to talk about chapters 2, 3. Yeah, probably 2 and 3. Oh yeah, King, I haven't put my schedule together yet on Twitch. I have to do that. Yeah, this 1500 course, 2151, the Java 2 class, data structures 2353, and JSP, PHP 2454. I'll post a schedule later. I'll be able to follow Java code, write Java code that utilizes branching, loops, and flow control. This is chapters 3 and 4. I'll write Java code to read from and write to disk files. That's chapter 4 as well. We'll demonstrate their ability to create a Java class, create objects of that class with private data members, public accessor, mutator methods, and a constructor. Understand the concepts of scope and variables within the object and its methods. This is chapter 6, our first look at classes. We'll demonstrate core concepts of inheritance. We also get into that in 6, I believe. It's also chapter 10, I want to say. Write arrays is chapter 7, I believe. We'll get to that. And then create GUI programs. That's chapter 12. Yeah, 12 and 13. Oh, great. I'm glad that works for you, Zero. Yeah, the PHP, JSP is the other class, King. All right, and again, info about the textbook. 6th or 7th edition is fine. I've got, assuming that you all buy the book, all of the PowerPoints are available in the content section here as well. So if you take a look in D2L in content, you, for your own purposes, and they have their own disclaimers, they're not for sharing, may review the PowerPoint slides that the publisher provides. I don't use them. One reason is that I hate PowerPoint. I just don't like using PowerPoint. I prefer demonstrating topics, talking about it, and I've got my little stylus here. I'll write on the screen, and that sort of fun stuff. So that's what I prefer. And then number 2, these are public copyrighted material, and I'm live on Twitch, which is publicly accessible. So that's sort of a violation of the use policy. So I just don't use them. Okay? So they're there for you. All of the code examples I've downloaded for you. You can go get them yourself from the Pearson website, but they're right here for you in D2L. That should make life easy. And then as we go, I'm going to have another section here of lecture archive. I don't have anything yet. As I export out the lectures to YouTube, I'll drop them in here in the lecture archive. Okay? So you can always watch them there, or you can watch them again if you just want to see it happen again. If you attended synchronously, you can watch them asynchronously as well, or go back and reference particular pieces. I think I'd mentioned I'm a little hyper at the moment. That's probably from all the coffee. But I had been using Twitch anyway since I was a big gamer and a nerd and into that sort of thing. And I had a night class where I taught over at U of M Dearborn, and I would teach a 3-credit night class. And their rooms are weird. As a lecture class, he wasn't taught in the computer lab, despite being a programming course. So I would go over things on my computer, and they wouldn't have computers to try them unless they brought a laptop. And someone said, oh, it'd be really nice if I could see what you were doing again. So I started just broadcasting my class on Twitch as I taught in an in-person room. And I'm actually hoping to keep doing that once we eventually get back to in-person teaching in the fall, if the stars align, I guess. That's still up in the air. They're hoping to know by Memorial Day what we're going to do for the fall semester. Oh, a dad joke. Thank you, King. So let's see. We just had some good ones. Oh, I recycle a lot of my jokes, unfortunately. So I started looking into jokes told in American Sign Language in ASL. Turns out nobody's ever heard them before. All right, is that fan too loud? Can you hear like a little buzzing behind you? I got a fan for my desk here because my laptop's been having trouble overheating, and the Surface Book has a terrible heatsink problem. So, all right, I turned that off. Is that any better? Or is it the same? I don't know if you could hear much. I did like a little trial test earlier, and I didn't hear it a lot, but I'm actually getting a little cold blowing on me here. Okay. Oh, it is better, Studio? Okay. All right, I might have to turn it on later, because when the wonderful computer that this is, if it starts to get hot, it throttles the CPU because it doesn't want to overheat, so it just turns the power down. Yeah, I'll go through all those instructions on how to download everything we need in the syllabus. Yep. There's not like instructions, there's just links, and then I'm just going to tell you what to do, because it's easier that way. And then it's all out in, exported out to YouTube, so you can watch it anytime you want. Okay, well, I turned the fan off for now, but I'll turn it back on in a little bit, maybe. So we'll see. I'm actually warm again. That's so funny. All right. So, back to the syllabus here. Trying to hit all the highlights. Supplemental material. There's a long list of things here. Don't worry. We'll get there. GitHub.com account. You'll need to create an account on GitHub.com. You'll need to use an email address. It should be one that you check. So don't use a throwaway one. Your chem teacher had an advent calendar for the year of dad jokes. Oh, that's amazing. I should get one of those. Once you have a GitHub account, you can install the GitHub desktop client from desktop.github.com. You can also install this on the virtual machine mentioned down below, which is awesome. Discord for my office hours, asking me questions. It's a great place to chat with the class as well. Super handy there. You'll need a web browser. I think you all found it here because you're here. Okay. We're going to use NetBeans with the OpenJDK and the OpenJFX and Scene Builder. We'll get to the OpenJFX and Scene Builder later in the semester when we start talking about graphical user interfaces. So the first one, we'll use NetBeans. We'll go to the NetBeans page here. We go to Download, and I want the Windows installer here is easiest. You can also use the binary, but the installer is usually just easier. And look, oh, we need to download from some mirrors. That's fun. Here's one, wayne.edu. That sounds probably pretty safe. I'm sure they're all fine, but just in case. All right, so we'll get that downloading. It should download in just a minute here. That seems super slow. Huh. It's kind of surprising. Maybe it's just their mirror is slow. We'll get that downloading. And then we'll also need the OpenJDK from over here. I'll open that one up. All right, they're on the JDK 16. We don't need the early access one, so just JDK 16. And we want the Windows zip here. This will download the Windows zip file. I think I clicked it. There it goes. All right, so those will download. Slowly there. The GitHub, right? GitHub account. I have one already. The desktop client I'll show you when we get to. I can even do it in the virtual desktop, but it's a link. You click download, and it's awesome. So GitHub is a hosting provider of the Git source control tool. Git was created by Linus Torvald, the founder of Linux, and he wanted to make a better source control tool, which he has. For probably about 7 years or so now, Git has been the most widely used source control tool in the industry. GitHub sells Git as a service, and they also happen to give it away to educational users. So I use that because it's free for us, and it's an industry-wide tool, which is really cool. So not everything Git is on GitHub. There are other hosting providers of Git, which is awesome. But that's what we're going to do. So I'll show you how to use all of this in a little bit. Don't worry. We'll get into the example. Okay. Let's see. Did these ones download yet? They're still downloading. There we go. All right. So NetBeans is done. So before we install NetBeans, we need to do this OpenJDK. So I'm going to open up my download folder here. And the virtual machines have a particular format. So I'm going to follow that same format as the virtual machine. So I'm going to go to my C drive, and I'm going to make a folder. I already have one here called Open Dev. Again, you don't have to. You're welcome to put this anywhere you want. But if you put it in Open Dev, we are following the same conventions as our virtual machines, and everything will be similar here. So you need a folder called Open Dev. If you don't have one, you can just right-click, make a new folder, make one called Open Dev. Okay? I think, yeah, I already, oh, that's 16. Perfect. So I can get rid of the old one here. There we go. That one. This one won't delete because it thinks it's in use, and I haven't rebooted yet because I haven't bothered. Anyway, so in my downloads here, I'm going to right-click the OpenJDK and say Extract All. And I'm going to extract it to that OpenDev folder. So I'm going to see OpenDev. I'm going to extract it there. It should run the extraction. This is generally pretty quick. Tam, you can just follow along later. Just watch the video later, because you're not going to be able to do the steps at the same time I am. Everyone's download speed is a little bit different, so we'll just have this for reference after. You can always come back to the video. Yep. Yeah, I'll export all these out on YouTube. If you do exclam YouTube there in the chat, it should have a link to my YouTube channel. Yep. Exclam YouTube there in chat should have it. The MacBook, you're going to want the Mac version. Should be essentially the same thing, though. Yep. Yeah, so this software all will work on Mac as well for you. Shouldn't be any trouble there. Right, so once that's all extracted, oh, where to go here? In our OpenDev folder, I'll just open up another. OpenDev, then there should be a folder. I can't find it. Where is it? OpenDev. There we go. Alphabetical, so hard. Yep, JDK-16.0.1. Inside of here is all of the Java stuff that we need. Okay? So we're going to come back over to our downloads, and we're going to run this Apache NetBeans, and it's probably going to yell at us, but that's okay. We can fix it in a second. It's not too big of a deal. It might not yell at us. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. We got a little prompt to install. Let's see. Someone's in the... So someone was in one of the voice channels, but it's not the lecture voice chat channel. If you want to pop over to lecture voice chat in Discord, I can find you there. All right. Cool. Thanks, Aiden and Bryce. Appreciate it for helping Veta there. Yep. Okay, so this is what's happening here. An error occurred while running Java. Can't initialize here. That's okay. I deleted all that stuff and I didn't find it. That is unfortunate. That was a different error than I usually get. That's okay. Just rename this thing. Go away. Nope, it's still in use. Okay, that's obnoxious. I wonder if I have something Java running. So what I get, I uninstalled it just earlier today so I could do a fresh install for you folks. Java? You even have anything Java running? No, I don't. No. It's the wrong alphabetical direction. No, Java's not even running. Is NetBeans running? This one. Let's kill that one. Maybe that was it. Yes, okay, cool. So I got rid of it. Let me try that installer one more time, see if we have any luck here. The links are there in the syllabus, or you can just Google OpenJDK. It's jdk.java.net. Okay, this is the error I was expecting here. So if you don't use the Oracle installer version, and we use this open version, it's ever so slightly more of a headache, but that's okay. So it's saying it doesn't know where it is. So we need to go install it and tell it with dash Java home. So that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go open up my terminal here, or PowerShell or command line. Anything is fine. You can just type in here. I'll just show you how to do PowerShell because you probably don't have that pinned. So go to PowerShell, type in PowerShell, and find Windows PowerShell. That's your friend here. It's the better command line, the latest generation command line here. And if you have trouble with this, I can hop on a Zoom call. We can do a screen share, and it's fine. Don't need to do any of that. All right, so I'm going to go back to my downloads folder. Downloads here. We can just navigate around. So CD to change directory, .. to go up directory, the directory name to go, and tab will autocomplete. There's all sorts of cool stuff we can do at the command prompt. We don't do a whole lot with it this class. All right, so I'm in my downloads, and I'm going to go find that Apache NetBeans installer. So its name is Apache, so I'm like AP tab. Nope, and find it. APA. Is that enough? C tab. Okay. Why is it upset with me now? It's not there. Oh, I'm in the wrong downloads folder. This is documents downloads. That's not where I wanted to be. This is my downloads folder. There we go. Yeah, you can do later, follow on later. The goal is that you get your tools installed week 1. And I've got lots of time to help folks get together and meet it. And I'm actually going to pair you off with a partner, which we'll talk about in a little while, to make sure that you both get this working. Okay? All right, so here it is. So this is the installer file, and it told me that I need to install it using -- Java home to tell it where Java lives. Okay, cool. So I'm going to call the installer, say -- Java home, and then I need to tell it it's in C:\opendev JDK 16. Again, you type a letter and you hit tab, and it auto-completes. Tab is your friend here. It will do the same thing in NetBeans. So tab is your friend. So I'm going to tell it, hey, Java home is C:\opendev JDK 16. If you put it in a different folder, like your documents folder, that's perfectly fine. You just need to go tell it where it is. Just follow the path along to tell it where it is. And now it should install just fine. Maybe. Here's a little UAC prompt. Okay. Let's see if our installer works now. We also have everything pre-installed on the virtual machine, which I can show you how to use in a little bit as well. So if you're, but most people prefer to have it locally anyway. Yes, and we just say yes to everything. I am actually going to put it here in OpenDev as well. So I'm not going to put it in program files. I'm going to put it in OpenDev, just because that way everything's in the same folder. You don't have to. Check for updates is fine. So this will go and install the Apache NetBeans IDE. It's actually on my to-do list to make a video of just installing this, because I don't want to have to do this for every class this week. All of our classes will use NetBeans. All the classes I'm teaching are going to use NetBeans. So that's on my to-do list. We've got an old video from Dr. Baugh, but it's like from 3 versions ago now. But there's nothing wrong with his video. His is great too. So I could point you at that later if you're curious. But we'll have tonight's class exported as well that you can take a look at and find. All right. Awesome. So we're working our way through the syllabus. Again, we'll get to the JFX and Scene Builder later. That's fine. For the virtual desktop, yeah, a specific video. So it was supposed to happen last week, but I ended up having 4 classes to grade finals on. Was a lot. And we didn't really get much of a break between winter semester and summer semester. So all right, here's a link to the OCC Team Dynamics Knowledge Portal. Knowledge Base? Yeah, Knowledge Base. Posture check. Thank you. Am I slouching again? So apparently over the browser works, but we don't recommend it at all because it's slow. Doesn't take long. You can also watch the VOD directly on Twitch as well, immediately. So as soon as I hit done, the VOD is available on. You can technically go find it now, but it's just a little bit awkward to go find it on Twitch. But you'll be able to watch it on Twitch immediately. Exporting out to YouTube takes maybe 30 minutes to an hour because it has to export and then process, that sort of thing. So definitely use the Windows or Mac client. I would not recommend doing it on iOS either. You don't want to have to program on iOS, but there's clients out there. And what you get then is this Horizon VMware client, which is cool. Bring that down here. So this is our virtual machine. If you haven't connected yet, it takes you through the steps. You add in apps.oaklandcc.edu is this connection I have here. So mine's saved. So you'll add that in. You go to connect, and then you'll log in. And you will find college-wide CIS is the one we want to use. The general OCC student doesn't have all of our CIS software. So the college-wide CIS has all of our software already installed on it. And you get a little virtual desktop. Now, there is a slight issue with this in that most of the time you get the same desktop, but it's not guaranteed. So my recommendation to you is don't put things on the desktop. Wow, that's a great background. Because you might lose it. Okay? So don't put things there. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to use GitHub in a little bit. Or you also should, I think, also have a network drive as well. I'm actually not entirely sure about that now. I think so, because I think it's the same connection as me and you. You can put stuff there if you want, your H drive, your home drive, but anything on the desktop, assume that will get lost. Okay? And you can install the GitHub desktop client here as well. And this is where you want to keep your code anyway. Yeah, okay, thanks, Stix. There might be, I'm not sure. But if you put your code in GitHub, it'll be there anyway. And then you don't have to worry about any of that nonsense. It's just always in your GitHub client. You can get it from your GitHub directory, which is awesome. So let's exit out of full screen here. Leave that for later. Okay, that's the VM client. So that's all the tools. Let's see, did NetBeans finish installing? It did. Look at that. So now I should be able to hit start and type in NetBeans. I don't click start, by the way, so you can click start or you can click search, or I hit the Windows key on my keyboard. Yeah, wherever your downloads is, I'm not sure what that folder is named on Mac. You can probably find it in Finder or something like that. I actually greatly dislike Macs myself, but that's just, I'm a Windows fanboy, and for some reason they're different enough that it irritates me. But it does work. I've had people use it on Mac before. I type in NetBeans, and it should launch NetBeans. And no worry, no, it's Macs are great. People love them. That's okay. Ooh, previous settings. Yeah, I'm going to import my settings because I previously had NetBeans installed. Hopefully that'll have my dark mode back. I forgot. Look at that. We are on page 3 of the syllabus. It's taken 40 minutes. You folks are fantastic. We're getting there. All right, awesome. And this is NetBeans. All right, so I'll show you a little bit how we can use it here in a minute. Oh, sure. I want to install some plugins. Why not? Install some plugins. I like the NetBeans plugins. They're awesome. All right, we'll get back to that. So that's our tools. Course policies, assessments, and procedures. Plagiarism and cheating is something that I take very seriously, and it irritates the crap out of me when people cheat and plagiarize. And honestly, it should irritate you folks as well, because people who cheat their way through school are going to have no clue how to do anything when they get hired, and then people are going to think we do a terrible job cheating, or a terrible job instructing people and teaching them and evaluating them. Yes, the syllabus quiz, you'll want to take that later this week. Anytime this week you will. Yep, I'll get to that after we read through the syllabus here. So, the policy is any student engaging in academic dishonesty will receive a failing grade for the course and be reported to the dean's office. If you're unsure what qualifies, please ask me. Okay? That used to be it. And then I still had people who failed last semester posting stuff on Chegg.com. They downloaded the JDK, was unable, you were able to open NetBeans without those steps. Oh, good. Yeah, so sometimes it can find it, other times it doesn't know where it is. I'm not sure what the difference is. And it works for some people. So, King, yeah, share your project. Yeah, I mean, so don't share current classwork. Should be a very simple rule of thumb. But after class, fine. That's all good. It's your work. So anyway, this used to be the policy, and then someone thought they could post something on Chegg.com anyway. So now I have a very specific, under no circumstances may Chegg.com be used. Do not post things there. Do not cite answers posted there. Any use of Chegg.com or similar websites will be considered academic misconduct. Right? don't post things there. Don't use Chegg.com. They're terrible people. They pay to let people cheat, and then they say, oh no, we totally work with faculty, and they're just a bunch of jerks, and I hate them. I have to get my dean involved and get a letter from the dean to get information from Chegg on who posted the question. It's really frustrating and irritating. Yeah, I mean, definitely show your friends after King. But yeah, I mean, wait to make it public till after it's due, maybe. So, what is plagiarism and cheating? The college policy from the OCC handbook. Anything that is, in my judgment, right? I'm the instructor. My judgment may be construed as academic dishonesty. This may be included, but not limited to, plagiarism. This is mostly what I get because people copy paste stuff they find online without citation. Just like your English classes, if you are quoting someone else's work, you have to cite the source. If you're not quoting it, but you're paraphrasing it, and you don't cite the source, that's also plagiarism. So, someone else's ideas, words, images, products, without giving credit to the originator, is plagiarism. Okay? If you cite your source, great. I'm fine with that. You should not be able to go find an answer for these projects that I give you because I'm trying to make them original online. But that's when someone said, oh, someone posted it on Chegg.com and I just found the answer. That's a bunch of crap. You will fail the class, get reported to the dean for cheating, right? If you find, okay, here's how to do one little piece of my assignment, that's fine. Just cite your source. We're okay. I'll talk you through it. It's all right. Acquisition of the tests, other academic material. I think the site like CourseHero.com is terrible. They have all sorts of things I've had to have taken down before. Distribution of material. So just you posting a question on Chegg is distributing that material. That's academic misconduct. You will fail the class, get reported to the dean's office. And if I'm not mistaken, the college still has our 3-strike policy where if you have been found to have engaged in academic dishonesty 3 times, you will be expelled from the college and no longer welcome to be a student here. It's actually a personal mission of mine to make sure as many cheaters get expelled as possible because you should not be able to cheat and get a degree. It devalues the degree for everyone. Okay? And it's not hard. Cite your source. It's not hard at all. I don't know why I had to fail 3 people last semester. It's a lot of paperwork for me, and it pisses me off because it takes my time away from doing the things that I should be doing for filling out all this documentation, writing down all these reasons, getting my dean involved, explaining to people why they failed because they cheated, and then them saying, oh, I didn't cheat, I just did this thing. I'm like, no, you posted it on Chegg. You took your answer from Chegg. Okay, I'm sorry. This is a big pet peeve of mine, and I will fail people for cheating. So if you're not sure, ask me, and I'll show you in the syllabus quiz where you agree to this policy, okay? Students who aid and abet, as well as those who attempt such behavior. So if someone asks you for your code, don't give it to them, because that makes you guilty too, okay? Our student code of conduct. This is a copy-paste. Sure, that's fine. Keep the hallways quiet. Remain in class till dismissed. Sure, whatever. The grading policy, the stuff everyone seems to care about. The projects for the course here. We'll be having 4 projects throughout the course is the goal. Maybe 5. I gotta look and see. I think just 4, right? I think I even put them in here. I'll get there in a second, sorry. Are 35% of your overall grade. So this is a weighted scoring system, okay? So they're worth points, but the points only matter within this category. Okay, I can show you how to set up Excel to make this work. It's also in D2L always. Okay, Stick, so you don't have an H drive? All right, I'll make sure then that we'll show you how to use GitHub so you can keep all your code there. Because you usually get the same desktop, but there's no guarantee. So I'll take a look and see. We'll have quizzes on every chapter. I'll post a quiz in Desire to Learn. You've got a week to do it. It's open book, open notes, right? There's no time limit. Just this is your incentive to read the chapter. Okay? 10% of your grade come from the quizzes. We'll have one exam is just a midterm. That's 15% of your grade. This one will be a timed exam to make sure everyone gets the same time allotment. Because if someone has all week to work on it and someone else has a job, they don't get as much time to spend on it. That's a little bit unfair when it comes to a larger exam like that. So it's not really a remote desktop though on Decked. It's the Horizon VMware client, so I don't know if it can actually share like that. But we're going to use GitHub anyway, and none of that will matter because GitHub.com will keep all of our code for us. It's fantastic. So the midterm will be a timed exam. It'll have a 4-hour time limit. If you need certain accommodations through the Access office, please make sure that they you work with them and have them contact me, and I'd be happy to give extended time as warranted through our Americans with Disabilities Act. But make sure you follow the paperwork. And then our final project is worth 40% of your grade. So we'll have a month, the last month of class, we'll be working on this final project. We'll do a little GUI application, a little game here. It should be a lot of fun. It's not the most fancy game. You know, it's your very first semester of programming likely, but that's okay. The link doesn't work for you? Like the link to the Team Dynamics webpage? This one here? Let's try that. See if that works any better there, Veta. Cool. All right. Yeah, it looks like you found Twitch chat there. Good. I see you in Discord there. Sorry for the trouble. It should be available there. You can't see the syllabus. Is that because you can't get into D2L? So it's all through D2L. Here. Should be able to log in there with the same username and password you do. Silver, the enrollment period is closed unless you are already enrolled in a class, I believe. So if you've not enrolled in anything, I believe summer enrollment is over. But the first week, you're available to add and drop classes if you're already registered. Okay, so you got in, Veta, to D2L? All right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, if you enroll today, the course might not show up for you yet. We had 30 people last time I looked. Like, this should take you right to the course if you have it. So if that should take you to the course page here. All right, NetBeans. No, that's fine. What is that? I didn't start a project 0. Oh, that's I know what that was. Okay. Anyway, let's go back here. So grading wise, the final project is 40% of your grade. I usually have people work in pairs, but because we're remote, the pairing up with somebody will be optional. So if you want to work on the final project in a pair, you're welcome to do it, but you don't have to. That's fine. So that the enrollment system, if you enroll the day the class starts, you won't have access to Desire to Learn. But if you enrolled any day previously, it syncs every night. So you should be fine there. So I'll post a link in D2L, a little place you guys can find pairs later. And like I mentioned, we'll be pairing up for the first project as well. It helps you get to know somebody in the class and make sure that you can work together to solve any problems you might be having. And then our letter grade scale, this should be standard, although I've heard it might not be because things are confusing every now and then. No, exact same project, the fan. No, so individual or working in pairs, you still accomplish the same thing. Cool. Yeah, so this is your letter score. So if you're looking for a particular letter, here's what you need to get it score-wise. The end grade, essentially, if you don't turn in Project 0, by week 3, you'll get an end grade. And that has all sorts of repercussions for people on financial aid and that sort of thing. But that's my only way of knowing if you're attended or not, whether or not you... I guess even the syllabus quiz, maybe. The syllabus quiz. So if you haven't done anything in the class in 3 weeks, you'll get an end grade. And I'll definitely be emailing you about it. Late work is not accepted without prior written approval. The reason is I go over solutions to the homework in class. So I can't take it late after I've shown a solution. And if you get behind in the quizzes, you're just putting yourself in a worse state because then you're probably not keeping up with the reading either, and you're just going to be falling behind and behind and behind, and it's just a bad cycle. So keep up to date or you don't get points for it. All right, other standard student policies. FERPA, I won't tell anyone your information. You are in control of your handle showing because this is public. No, I'd leave the assignment at D2L because it's too much work to lock for me. So if you're asking me what your grade is, I'll tell you to go look in D2L. Because that's where it is, because I have no idea who you are otherwise. I can apparently email your student email address, but again, I'll just take a look in D2L, because you should have access to that and no one else should. If you need accommodations to the American with Disabilities Act, please contact our access office. They will send me the correct paperwork, and then I can work with you. I think the only accommodations we typically have is extra time on tests, and because we all the lectures are recorded, nothing else is time bound except for the midterm. But let me know. Just get in touch and see how I can help. The Academic Support Center. In addition to having Tim, our amazing SI, come in, he actually sits through classes, so he knows what you're hearing. Knows exactly what I'm saying, running the study group sessions. There is individual tutoring you can book, which is fantastic. They just put out their summer schedule recently. I don't take late work, Veda. That's the policy. Here we go. So our tutoring schedule. So the Orchard Ridge campus is technically our campus for this. I think there's some tutoring at some other campuses, but I'm not familiar with that at all. I guess because I haven't even clicked the link. But this should be for summer 2021. So we have one tutor for all CIS classes here, who is also our amazing SI. So Mr. Tim is fantastic and can book. These are individual appointments that are free of charge, assuming you don't keep ghosting him. At some point, if you keep missing people, they won't let you go anymore. So 2 no-shows and you're out. But it's a free service that we're paying for Mr. Tim's time to tutor. These are individual sessions. The SI study group session is a group session where lots of people can get together and talk and work through exercises and all sorts of things. Okay? So definitely take advantage of that. That is fantastic. One of my favorite things about OCC and us being a community college is we have this Academic Support Center, who is awesome. The ASC also runs all sorts of other really cool study skill seminars, which are fantastic if you want to brush up on how to effectively study and other sorts of tips. Very cool. 10 tutors for physics? My goodness. Tim, you're a jack of all trades. And math too? Or maybe not math. All right. We're getting there. For D2L issues, D2L specific, there's a D2L help desk. That's like D2L is not working, something is wrong, went down with D2L. Anything content related is all me, because I'm the one putting the content into D2L. I'll help you with what I can. Okay? Accessibility standards links, you should be able to browse the web, that sort of thing. Microsoft accessibility, sure. Our technology appropriate use regulations mostly doesn't apply because you're not using college resources unless you're on the virtual machine. If you're on the virtual machine, don't do stupid things, and you'll be fine. If you violate the policy that you agree to when you log in, it prompts up like, hey, you agree to this thing that no one reads anyway. But if you do stupid things, you will lose access to college computer resources. And it's really difficult to complete a class without access to those resources. Java is of no relation to JavaScript. One of the funniest things in programming. I don't know why. Nope, totally unrelated. Very different things. Mozilla? No. So Oracle owns Java. They bought Java, and now they license Java officially. And JavaScript is just a standard, I believe. I don't know who actually works on it. Groups participate for sure, but some netiquette tips, sure. Public safety, again, probably doesn't matter because we're not here in person. But if you have issues with other people, let me know if I can assist. We take that sort of thing, making sure we have a safe and secure environment seriously. My goal here is to have assignments graded within a week of the due date. That did not happen at all last semester or the semester before that because COVID is awful and being stuck at home is hard and difficult. And I have 6 children, 5 of them who are trying to do at-home learning, and it is insane. So we survived the semester, everything got graded eventually, and I felt terrible about it. My goal is to do better this summer because we don't have to do as much school stuff at home this summer. So, no, we weren't in person, but and then I will respond to emails, other communications, generally really quickly. I'm a phone addict, although my son has it right now because he's watching YouTube. But you'll hear back from me generally very quickly. If you don't, please pester me. You're not going to make me feel bad at all. I won't get mad at you. because I should be responding really quickly almost all the time, within 24 hours at the most. Atomic, enough material to get an internship or a job? Unlikely. No, this is like very first programming class. You typically get an internship after like 2 years of education, where you've taken several credits, learned about CIS tools and techniques and things. Rigos, I mean, sure, it's unlikely to be able to assist with anything that's a personal project, though. Between teaching 16 credits this semester and all the other stuff I have going on, I'm a little booked. Yeah, sounds great, Veda. Yep, watch the recording. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns. All right, then the course schedule. All right, we're almost there. It's taken an hour. My goodness. The strategy is to finish 2 Java classes, make personal project. Oh no, like there's several classes in the program to get, if you look at the associate's program or certificate. And then if you want to continue on, the typical standard in the industry is a bachelor's in computer science, but not everyone needs it. There are places that hire with just associates for sure. Yep, they'll be on the YouTube channel as soon as I'm done. You can also access the VODs here right on Twitch, Veda, as well. So if you just come back to my Twitch channel, there's a video section here. So hopefully we don't have Twitch inception here. Let's see. Come to my channel, and then... No, we don't do any database work in this class floor. We'll get to that in the PHP class. Don't play there. Is it slow? Oh, goodness. My computer's... Let me turn my fan back on here. I think I'm having more trouble again. Let's give that a shot. All right. Come on. Maybe it'll load here. Where's the link for my videos? My goodness. No? Is it? I don't. I think because I'm live, it's not showing right now, but I think it's like /videos. There we go. There you go. And here's the videos link. Yeah, Ninja. He's fun. Oh, the profile picture. Yep. So usually you get this page if I'm not live. You can look at home, schedule. I can put my schedule up. You go to videos. You can find all the VODs here as well. So anyway, that's going super slow. Sorry for that. All right. So our schedule. So our course introduction, done. We're going to talk about chapter 1 in a little bit here, and we'll talk about project 0 as well for this week. And then we'll have, just 3 other projects. Okay. So project 0 is like our basic one, and then we'll do 3 projects, and then we'll get to the final project as well. Hey, someone else followed. That's awesome. We have, in a fortunate circumstance where Memorial Day and the 4th of July observed fall on a Monday, so we only actually have 14 weeks. It's terrible. Whoa, that is a lot of emotes there. My goodness. Yeah, I'll group them all. I have playlists put together, Tam, that I'll add. Yeah, so I'll have some playlists for that. Wow, emote fountain. That's so cool. All right, so our course introduction, chapter 1, and then we go chapter by chapter by chapter, right through 7, and then we jump through a couple. Sounds great, Veda. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Then we'll have our midterm on the 12th. The whole night is reserved for the midterm. You don't have to take it from 6 to 10. I'll be a little flexible with that date and time, but we'll have pretty much a 24-hour window, which you can take it with that 4-hour time limit. It should not take 4 hours. But I have the time set aside. And we'll come back for inheritance in chapter 10. We touch a little bit on chapter 10. We don't go super deep because we'll pick this up next semester as well. And we get into chapters 12 and 13 to do some basic GUI applications. Python class, yeah, I taught a Python class last semester at U of M Dearborn. I'll be teaching again come fall. So that's the plan. So we'll do a project every 2 weeks or so. I know there's Memorial Day, so we have some time there. 2 weeks, with 4th of July observed by the midterm. And then we'll get to our final project when we start talking about GUI on 7/26. And then we will get together on a Zoom call to present your final projects on 8/23 at 6 p.m. So that one is a required attendance, but that is the only one. Everything else can be asynchronous if necessary, if you prefer. And that's the general schedule here. And with my disclaimer, I'll change it if I need to, if I think we need to. So we get cruising right into the content. All right. Any questions, thoughts, concerns about the syllabus so far? I know I've been talking for about an hour now. I'm getting tired of hearing my own voice. Let's see if I can find some more coffee. Yeah. All right, no other questions in the moment. That's good. That's good. So why don't we take a little break here, and we'll pick it back up in about 10 minutes or so. Get up and stretch, get some breaks, whatever you need, get some more fluids, and we can go from there. So I'll put some music back on. Oh, we got to finish this ad, of course. That's awesome. So we'll finish that ad, and then we'll come back in about 10 minutes or so. And so let me flip over here. Break time. And let's pick it back up, say, what, 7:15 Eastern, and we'll be back. All right, cool. So we got music again. All right, we'll be back in a little while, folks.
I miss the family I used to have. I feel like everything's so different now. Sitting by the fire as we'd watch the flames burn out. I miss the days I wasn't afraid. Now I always have my guard up. Hands on my face, I learned to cope with the pain. I know that people think I'm trying to get attention, but in reality I'm trying to send a message. I know there's kids out there that are going through the same thing, and if you're one of them, I hope to help your suffering. Just know it will get better, and these feelings do not stay the same. No, they don't stay the same. I don't wanna make you feel bad, but you kinda ruined my life. You hurt me and ruined my life. And I don't wanna make you feel bad, but you kinda ruined my life. You hurt me and ruined my life. You hurt I lost a couple friends on my way up. I took a couple L's, but that's just normal talk. I popped a couple pills, but they don't do much. And now I take Prozac in the morning with some other stuff. But why did I get into this? I feel like this is all a dream. But when I wake up, look around, this isn't even make believe. So I sit in the corner thinking back to all the memories. I grew up with these fake beliefs, by the time I find a remedy. I don't wanna make you feel bad, but you kinda ruined my life. You hurt me and ruined my life. And I don't wanna make you feel bad, but you kinda ruined my life. You hurt me and ruined my life. You hurt me and ruined my life. Yeah. You hurt me. Oh, you hurt me. You hurt me and ruined my You hurt me and ruined my life.
So you wanna go to war with me? You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in my veins, won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane? It's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it. I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne.
Hey folks, welcome back. Alright. Alrighty. Cool, so we have chapter 1 to talk about here, and that'll get us through tonight. Yeah, chapter 1, Project Zero, and then the first chapter quiz as well. We got a lot going on. It's awesome. A hat, you got it, Scholar. Let's see. Scholar, do you want Mickey Mouse or Chest Bra? Your pick, my friend. Just, you got it. King, you make me change my hat? Oh my goodness. Sorry, Scholar. You lose out, my guy. Back to Mickey. Wear both. Double hat. I can do that. I can do that. Yeah, it's intro to Python. It's the first intro to computer science course taught in Python for data science students. A little bit of leftover cake here. All right. Wow, people already took the syllabus quiz. You guys are fantastic here. Yeah, so let me go edit I can preview the syllabus quiz here. No, this was my daughter's birthday. It was last week, Thursday. So she wanted an ice cream cake from Dairy Queen. So it's a little bit melty. I don't want to pour it too far, tip it too far. All right, so the syllabus quiz is making sure that you went and read the syllabus. I'll just real quick check out the questions here in case you have any questions about the questions. Get this done by next week. Ways you can contact me. The tools you need. You can install them or use a virtual desktop. You can watch the lectures synchronously on Twitch or asynchronously on YouTube. Attending the SI study group sessions are optional, proven to help you get a better grade, or earn extra bonus points, all the above. Work submitted after the date received no credit without prior written approval from me. True or false? And during my office hours, which fill out the survey, by the way. What do you mean by can't access at 0? You go to content and it's not there? You can reserve a meeting with me, expect a really quick response because I am sitting at my desk, chat about general technology or anything interesting, or all the above, right? And then this is for your planning purposes. Typical college course requires 2 hours of work spent outside of the class for every hour in class. So as a 4-credit class, you should spend about 4 hours in class and our in-class exercises, and then 8 hours outside of that reading the text and going through that. Unavailable. So you go to content and you go to syllabus and it doesn't load like the preview. So I asked you, what time do you have set aside to either watch the class and then to do the homework and the work? That's all right, you all. I can help you with the command line later. And then agreeing to the academic conduct policy. Oh, the spacing here got really weird with my copy paste. That's the syllabus quiz. So basically 8 free points. You can take it as many times as you need to. Once you take it, I'll go and score it. That might take a minute. So it should load a preview of it 0 and just kind of load here. That might be a question for the D2L help desk, perhaps. But I'd be happy to email it to you if you want a copy now, or I can probably even post it in the I can post it in the Discord. Why not? Right? Let's see. I don't need the current song, right? Close to Spotify. All right, I'll go post that here in the Discord for the course then, and you can find it there if you're having any trouble. All right, so it should be in the Discord for you. Unavailable quick link. That is weird. There might also be an option for download as well. Like if you just click on it, there should be a download option instead of view. You could try downloading direct from D2L as well. That's an option there. All right. Cool. So I think we're good there. And let me go. My other other window up here. Pulling up what I need here for chapter 1. Oh, I forgot to grab that book for you, just to show you the picture of it. That's all right. Oh, I think my 7th edition actually an ebook. That's probably what it is. Here, there's a really cool YouTube video. I don't know how that all works though, because they have sound and things in their YouTube. Oh man, my internet getting laggy? Shoot, sorry. Okay, it looks like it's stable again here. I've been having on and off issues with the Comcast, but I thought it's been pretty stable lately. YouTube, what's it called? So I don't know if I can play it and not get a copyright mark strike against me. So I'm going to point you to it, spend a few minutes watching it. Where is it here? Code. Man, I used to have the link. Where is it now? Code.org. I think it's this one. Yeah, most schools don't teach. There we go. This is the really good video. It's a little old now, but it's okay. But this is well worth your time here. Okay, was it real laggy before too? I'm sorry. Thanks, King. You can't post links in here. It's like an auto mod thing in Twitch. Yeah, for AP Computer Science Principles. You can post that in the Discord later. All right, so check that video out. It's definitely worth watching. I don't want to play it and get copyright marks against me because they've gotten really weird about that lately, which is stupid. But that's okay. So just take a minute, watch that one. Well worth your time, even though it's a little bit old here. And it just to give you a couple of reasons for why we should learn how to code for sure. And then I'll be right back. I have to go put this ice cream cake in the freezer. So take your 5 minutes, watch that, and I'll be right back. All right. No, I didn't start it. I can't play YouTube videos that have music and stuff without getting copyright strikes. Best I can recall. So hopefully you got a chance to watch that real quick. Thanks, Debo. Yeah. So hopefully you had a chance to finish that up. I don't usually mute myself. That was fun. No, I clicked the wrong button. Oh, a dad joke. You got it. I actually have my phone back here, so I got a couple more. Let's see. I try and collect these because I think they're hilarious. You know, a little known fact about Captain Hook. He bought his hook from a secondhand store. Stretch. I have a hard time in chat knowing if that's sarcastic or not about being an inspiring video. But I'm a big fan of will.i.am, and I thought that was pretty cool that he would go and say that was a superpower, right? And I mean, it sort of is, being able to... Not a fan of the joke, Tam? Okay, cool. Yeah, I always like showing that video. I think it's really neat just to see. Definitely some cool stuff there. All right, I'm going to save that link for later then. So I posted here a discussion forum to find a learning partner. And not looking like a lizard for Zuckerberg. He's a little younger there, isn't he? If you are synchronous or asynchronous, you probably want to try and pair up with somebody who is the same synchronous or asynchronous as you. It's not required, but to try and find someone to be your learning partner to work with here for Project Zero would definitely be helpful. And I'll post a link to the forum at the end of class in like the class recap is what I'll try and do here in D2L. Okay? All right. So you'll want to pair up with somebody. You can work with them to get the tools installed. Make sure you're both able to complete Project Zero. Yes, Project Zero. Zero Superman. And I'll show you all that here in just a minute. So I want to talk about Chapter 1 first, and then we'll come back to the project. Yeah, it's got to be zero-based. When we get to Chapter 7, arrays, that will make a whole lot more sense, King. Or for anyone else, why we start with 0. Okay, so let me pull this up here, and I'm occasionally get off topic. I don't know if you have noticed that ever. So I'm going to try and follow along in general with the content in the chapter to make sure we get there. A little bit of Java history is interesting. One of the main goals of Java was to be cross-platform at the time, so not just a Windows-only or Mac-only platform. Honestly, I don't remember at the moment, King. I'd have to go look it up, and I don't have my book handy right now. I think 8 is a second look at classes, and 9 is advanced file I/O, perhaps, but I forget. So different types of Java applications, general applications, standalone, or applets. Applets are essentially dead. We used to be sort of popular. It was essentially a Java program that ran in your web browser, and then we found out that security was kind of terrible for that, to let someone run code on your computer. So we sort of stopped. But yeah, all sorts of different kinds of programs, right? Different things that we can use. You're familiar with many of them, I'm sure, like your web browser happens to be one, Microsoft Word, other common programs, even NetBeans is a program itself. So programs just do what we tell them to do. Now, there's a lot of work that goes into writing programs. Right? It's actually an engineering discipline, which I find really interesting, that we kind of take it through this entire process of designing a solution and implementing the solution, testing our solution, and figure out what we want to do. So essentially, anything that we'll call a program is some piece of code that accomplishes a task. And it can be any task. Whatever that task happens to be, we're going to try and accomplish. We need to think about all the different aspects of that as we design it and program it. And it's really sort of this iterative process, which is really fun. Of here, I've got an idea of what I want to do. I'm going to try and implement that idea. I'm going to test it, see if it works, and just kind of circle around here. So you can imagine it here. That was the wrong thing. Whiteboard. There we go. Not WhatsApp. No, not my WhatsApp. That's the wrong one. You don't want my WhatsApp open. No. You want the whiteboard. There we go. Let's try and open the right tools here. My goodness. Interfaces and polymorphism. We touch real super briefly on polymorphism here. But no, we'll do interfaces more, 2151 and 2353 data structures. Right, so this idea of you design, you implement, and you test. Right, and each one of these is just kind of cyclical until you have a working product. You know, I used to recommend people read before the chapter before class, and no one would ever do it. So I'm just happy if you read the chapter at all, to be honest, Trahana. That would be fantastic. If you read it before class, you'll have a little bit better understanding about the things I talk about, and then you'll probably be able to ask better questions as well. But if you just read it at all, I'll be super happy. Right? So we design, so our program solves a problem. Solves a problem. Right? That's what a program is. We have to know what we're doing. We have to design it. Think about the different steps, what it's going to look like, how it's going to run. Sounded like what I expected teachers to sound like. Textbooks are nice and all, but I never really had to use one outside of questions for homework that were assigned. You know, so I have a limited amount of time to lecture and give examples and talk about the important stuff that I think is really cool in the chapter. The textbook is your main reference for all sorts of things. And when it comes to chapter quizzes, anything in the chapter is fair game, whether or not I've mentioned it in lecture, right? The chapter quizzes are your incentive to go read the book, okay? For sure. So we need to design what is our program going to do? What problem is it going to solve, right? And then we implement it, is a whole other process here, and then we test it to make sure, did it solve? It solved the problem. Solve. And if it didn't, we go back to designing. Again, how do we fix it, right? What do we need to do design-wise to fix it? Implement that fix and test it. On and on and on and on. It's really cool. So that's what software and programs are all about. When it comes to computer systems, we have two main pieces here, right? So you have hardware and you have software. Now the distinction here, right, is hard versus soft. Hardware is physical components, right? The actual physical components in your computer. You have a central processing unit, you have memory, you have storage, you have input and output devices. All sorts of different types there. An input device is anything that you give input to the computer with. Typically a mouse and keyboard, stylus, sure, that sort of thing, touch. Right? Those are all input devices, whatever that touch screen is. Output devices are ways that the computer gives you output, like your monitor, like your speakers. Even a printer, I guess we could call an output device, right? We're just outputting something. The central processing unit is where all of the calculations happen. You might also have a graphical processing unit and a graphics card, a GPU, that can do some graphical processing or Bitcoin mining, if you're so lucky to find one. And then memory and storage are very different. So when it comes to hardware here, we have memory and we have storage. So storage, think, is long-term. When you save a file, you're saving it to storage because you want it to exist later. Memory is the working storage. So as computers are running, everything goes into memory and runs in memory. So when we tell the computer, hey, you need to do some calculations, so it's 10 plus 70, and then save it, it's going to save it in its memory here for use later on. Yeah, I think someone had found a 3080. I think they had to camp outside a Micro Center. I think was their tip there they shared in the Discord. Cool. So memory is our working storage. So our programs will run in memory. We'll talk later about persisting things to disk or storage, external storage. Typically it's your hard drive. You have USB storage. You can have CDs if anyone still uses that as storage. All sorts of other storage media for long-term storage. Okay. The GPU does some cool stuff. Our memory is usually called RAM, or random access memory. And RAM is cool because everything in computers is stored in binary, which is bits, which is a 0 or a 1. So everything we do on computers eventually boils down to a series of zeros and ones, which is really cool. So you might store, say, like 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. This is 8 bits here. makes a byte. B-Y-T-E-S. Okay, so every 8 bits is a byte, and typically we organize things into bytes. Smaller units are a little trickier. So everything eventually will be stored down into small pieces here, and everything has different amounts of size, right? How much space it takes up, how many zeros and ones you need to store different things. Yep. And what's cool about binary is base 2. This is all fun facts. You can learn all about this in more advanced computer organization, hardware, circuit sort of classes. We're just touching on some highlights here because it's cool and it's nice to know how this stuff sort of works behind the scenes. What's up, Vivi? Oh, sure. Let's see. You gonna wave? You can say hi to everybody.
Hi. I don't hear anything.
No, so we can't hear them, but they can hear us. But I'm broadcasting. Right, go ahead and take that.
You guys are lucky to be working with my smart dad.
You're
He's
too sweet.
Really smart, whether he wants to admit it or not.
You're sweet, Vivi. I love you. Close my door, please. Oh, they all said hi now. Azua says hi. Treadstone says hi. Undecked Wig says hi. Liu Ahi says hi. Studio says hi. King says hi. Zero says hi. All right, go ahead, please.
Wait.
What?
Wait. Remember my name.
Yeah, that's fine. You gotta pick my meeting number. Pick the drop down.
Where?
The little drop down arrow.
Eric Thomas?
Yep. There you go. Go ahead and join. Take it downstairs, please. All right. Debo says hi too. So base 2 is everything is based in 2. Our typical numbers, you know, are, that's not a letter, base 10, where each value here, each place is a certain value of 10. So the ones place is 10 to the 0, ones place is 10 to the 10, hundreds place is 10 to the 0. Right, so this is the number of ones, this is the number of tens, this is the number of hundreds, and on and on and on and on we go. Okay, so we write our numbers that way. With binary, everything is base 2. So we have 2 to the 0, 2 to the 1, 2 to the 2, 2 to the 3, 2 to the 4, 2 to the 5, 2 to the 6, and 2 to the 7. So this is 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. Value. No, we don't get into hex in this class, King. It's just base 16. We don't do a whole lot with it. So if there is a 1 in that digit there, so what number did I come up with before? I forget. 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. I can't write here. 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. So if there's a 1, you get that digit, that value. So this one here has a value of 1. This has a value of 0 because it's off. This one has a value of 4. This one's off. This one has a value of 16. This one's off, off, off. So 0. So I get 16 plus 4 plus 1. So this number here is equal to 21. Okay, so that's how we would read that. And I can store a value. So in a single byte, I can store between 0 and 255. And if you ever want to play with it, the Windows calculator is actually really cool. The calculator app, it has a mode called programmer mode. And in programmer mode, you can go to binary, and you can go to the binary input, binary toggling here, and it will show you groupings here. So this single bit, if I turn them on, right, I see their binary value being on, off, on, off, on, off. Right, that sort of thing. So if I toggle them all on here, it shows me in decimal, that's our base 10 here, it's 255. Okay, so 0001010 here means I'm going to be up to 21 because I have one value of ones, I have one value of fours, I have one value of 16s. Right, so if it's a 1, you get the value. If it's 0, you don't get the value. That's our binary. Ooh, IP stuff from 1300. That's a lot of fun. Networking is really cool. I had done networking years ago. My high school actually offered the Cisco Networking Academy. It was a 2-year program, which was fantastic. It would get you set up to take the CCNA cert. But by the time I was done with it, I realized I didn't want to do networking, so I never sat for the cert. Oh, it was a super cool class. And actually the reason I got my first job, too, which is another fun story. All right. So that's binary. You don't need to know too much about it. Just know there's zeros and ones. I'm not going to ask you a whole lot about it, but know that it's there because everything when it's stored needs to be stored as a 0 or a 1 in memory or storage. Right? Memory is our short-term, our volatile storage, our RAM. And the problem with RAM is if you lose power, it's off. It's all gone. Right? Versus our long-term storage is made to maintain its state whether or not you have power or not. Yeah, 2 to the n minus 1. So if I have 8 bits, 2 to the 8th minus 1. 2 to the 8th is 256. Minus 1 is 255. My handwriting here is terrible. It's just as good as it would be on the whiteboard, though. 255. There we go. Close enough. Okay? Cool stuff. So what we do is we store values as zeros and ones. And when we're using Java, we tell the computer, hey, I need to store something. So right to left is the place value. So just like if you write like the number 2,357, right? Your ones place is on the right, and then your tens, and your hundreds, and your thousands. In binary, it's the same thing. Your ones place is here, and then your twos place, and then your fours place, and your eighths place, your 16th place, your 32's place, your 64's place, and your 128's place. That's right. I think I had zeros and zeros here. Like that. Yep, so same idea. So the place values are not ones, tens, hundreds. The place values are 2 to the 0, 2 to the 1, 2 to the 2, 2 to the 3, 2 to the 4, 2 to the 5. The problem is when we teach kids how to do numbers, we don't understand what exponents are. So if you tell them that's the 2 to the or 10 to the second power place, they won't know that that actually means 100. So we never tell them that's the 2 to the 10 to the second power place value. We tell them it's the hundreds place because that makes a whole lot more sense to people. Okay? So when we store things, everything is stored in memory, and for some reason, memory uses hexadecimal. So hex here is base 16. And there's lots of reasons for it, which is really interesting. But base 16 means you get 0 through 9 and A through F, where A is 10, B is 11, C is 12, D is 13, E is 14, and F is 15. So in a hexadecimal value, right, you get 16 to the zeros place, 16 to the ones place, 16 squareds place, on and on and on. So this is how many ones, this is how many 16s, this is how many 256s. And you get one more in here, and then what's 16 to the third? Go back to a regular calculator here. 16, goodness. To the, nope. Stop. Clear. 16 to the third. 496. 4096. Sure. 16 to the third. Why not? On and on and on. Yeah, there's some overlap here. So hexadecimal is its own fun thing, but what happens here is memory is stored in hexadecimal addresses, and usually with hex you put an X. Hex X, I don't know why. So you'd like say X, I don't know, like 003F. And this is a memory address. And a memory address is telling the computer where to go get this piece of data from memory. And there's all sorts of cool things that happen at the hardware level where it goes and fetches that data and then you get it back and all sorts of other cool things. So when we talk about memory addresses, we do it in hex, and then it will store some piece of information here. So at this location in hex, we might store 0010101, which we've now stored the value of 21. Okay? So storage is cool. External or secondary storage, long-term storage versus memory. Right, disk is what we usually have for that. If you get an SSD hard drive, your life will be so much faster because it's much faster than spinning. So hex is great because typically we represent colors. Our usual color scheme was 0 through 255, red, 0 through 255, green, and 0 through 255, blue. So a mix of red, green, blue, and turns out you can store with 16 16s, you get 256 values. So if you need 0 to 255, that's 2 hex addresses, or I'm sorry, 2 digits of hex. So that is between 00 and FF. 00 and FF, and 00 and FF. So with 6 hex digits, you can store any red, green, blue combination here. Everything is stored in binary eventually. Rygogos. You'll have to tell me how to say your handle here. Hey, Blowfish, thanks for coming and hanging out tonight. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. All right, awesome. So, other hardware, input, output, we talked about that. Software. So typically when we talk about software, that's an A, right? You have two types. You have operating systems, and you have everything else, or apps, applications. If you want to learn to write operating systems, you are going to be really smart, and you will make Windows or Mac OS or Android or all sorts of other operating systems. Yeah, it's all from Chapter 1, Trahana. Definitely. This is my Chapter 1 lecture. So if you didn't read Chapter 1 beforehand, that's okay. I'm talking about stuff that's interesting from Chapter 1. You can go back and read the chapter, hopefully fill in those gaps, make it make more sense, and then go from there. Right, so operating systems will run applications. So operating systems' job is to talk to the hardware and make applications do what they want to do. So the Windows operating system lets us run all sorts of apps. Right? The Mac operating system, Mac OS, runs all sorts of applications. Not always the same ones, right? Because you write apps for particular operating systems occasionally, or if you have a platform like Java, you can write a Java application where Java is the intermediate layer, which is really cool about Java, that will then talk to the operating system, which will then talk to the hardware. So when we say Java is multi-platform, it means Java knows how to talk to the operating systems. So that's not a J. Java runs on, they claim, billions of devices, which I think is still true, right? There's a Java runtime environment, which will run the Java code, which will talk to the operating system, which will talk to the hardware to do the things that you write in your Java applications. It's really cool. Now, one trick about operating systems is they make you think they can do a lot of things at once. So if I go to my task manager here and I see all these apps running, it makes you think that it can do a lot of things at once. What's actually happening, right, is, yeah, drivers. Drivers are really cool as well. And honestly, beyond me, I've never done driver work before because it's not the sort of thing I'm interested in. So what my computer does is it gives a little bit of time to each application and says, okay, you do your thing, you do your thing, you do your thing, you do your thing. So it doesn't multitask, but it will go through and run different tasks really, really, really fast. In that they can all be running at the same time because when they're just waiting for you. And when you interact with it, it gets its little slice of time to do what it needs to do. So it's really cool. Operating systems are fantastic. Programming languages, then, languages themselves. So Java is a language here, right? This is our language. It's our way of speaking computer, right? Speak computer. There are all sorts of computer languages, programming languages. Python, C#, C++, Java, Go is a new popular one. Rust is a new popular one. Original C, not even C++, is another one. F or F#. Trying to think of others off the top of my head, but that's okay. There's all sorts of other ones. Didn't I say Python, Blowfish? I thought I said Python. Right, so all of those are different ways of speaking computer. So Python, C++, C#, Java, F#, Go. Yep, Python is free. Yep. Lua. Oh, that's right. I've heard about Lua. So these are mainly the ones, don't include F# there, that I teach. There's all sorts of other ones. Yeah, most languages are free. So like the tool that you use might not be free. Yeah, Ruby. So languages give you different ways of solving problems. And some work on certain operating systems and some don't. Some have intermediate layers and some don't. There's a whole philosophy around that. It's really cool. I mean, machine code is specific to operating systems, right? So like, it's not really universal at that point either. I was going to teach the C# class, but it didn't run. We didn't have enough students enrolled because we need 15 plus students to run a course or so. And again, there's a slight little bit of variance there, but essentially our dean wants 15 or more. mean, like, technically the college loses money every time I teach a class anyway, just the way tuition works and salary and stuff like that. But, we also get funding from taxpayers. Thank you, Oakland County residents, for your tax dollars. That goes towards that as well. So, like, we're allowed to lose a certain amount of money per class, but essentially, yeah, so hopefully not this year, but next year, because things take forever to plan. I don't know if I mentioned, I'm a new full-time faculty member. I've been adjuncting for years. You guys probably found me on LinkedIn because you know to Google all of your profs and all sorts of that thing. And there's only one Eric Chinesky that I know of in the world, so I'm not too hard to find. I've been an adjunct for quite some time, but I just started as a full-time faculty member recently. Oh, thanks. So actually, the last fall semester. So this is like the third semester here now, which is really weird. Like, I haven't been on campus at all as a new faculty member, but that's okay. So the process for updating our degree programs takes a really long time, and the goal is to get C# in as a elective for the associate's program instead of only included in one of the certificates that we offer. And maybe that will help increase enrollment, but maybe it'll hurt C++. I don't know. It's up for discussion in the department or discipline. Yep. Hang on, I'm not sure what you mean back 8 years. What's the course following this? CIS 2151 is our typical OCC course there, Studio. That is Object-Oriented Programming Java. It's Java 2, essentially. I'm not. I'm not teaching it in the fall. Dr. Baugh is teaching it in the fall. I'm going to teach it in the winter. The scheduling here was a little funny. Yeah, language theory, abstractions. It's super interesting stuff for sure. Oh, okay, Tam, very cool. Welcome back after 8 years. I'm glad you're able to make it back here. So languages, right? There's just how we speak to the computer. There's a fancy term here called an algorithm. I love this term, algorithm. Algorithm. And the algorithm is just the steps to solve a problem. If we were in person, I would ask you folks to write an algorithm for making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and then I would follow your steps to hilarious results. And there's actually funny YouTube videos about it, where like you ask your kids how to do. I mean, we do it with all sorts of people. When they say put the peanut butter on the bread, you take the jar of peanut butter and you stick it on top of the bread because that's what you told it to do. And the idea is it's an illustration of computers are dumb, right? So computers are dumb. They will only do what you tell it to do, and exactly that. So if you say put the peanut butter on the bread, they'll take the peanut butter and put it on the bread. If you say open the jar, grab a knife, scoop some peanut butter out with the knife, and spread it on the bread, they'll do that. Yeah, so we need to be very detailed when it comes to the computer to tell it what to do. And we'll learn all about that, because all of those steps, right, our algorithm is what it's going to do. It's going to follow those steps. Blowfish. Yeah, the black box. Sure. Yeah, thanks, Tam. Glad you're here. All right. So, yeah, all sorts of programming languages. Sure. Oh, there's the list of languages. Yeah. Oh, COBOL. That is a fun one. COBOL. This is a really old language here. And turns out most of our unemployment systems around the country run in COBOL because the government never spends money to improve systems if they don't have to. So if it's been working since 1970, they're going to leave it working since 1970. Turns out no one knows how to fix them anymore. Turns out. But that's a fun problem to have, apparently. My older brother's first job was in COBOL after he got his bachelor's in computer science. Just as a fun fact. I've never worked with it in my life. But that's okay. Oh, Visual Basic. Yes, Visual Basic. I've done Visual Basic as well. You've been on a couple websites. It's very obvious. Sure. Yeah. There's issues there, but that's okay. All right. So common things to programming languages, right? They have certain rules or syntax. Right? Each programming language has its own syntax. That's its rules. So you have to follow the syntax, otherwise the computer has no idea what you mean. And that means you have keywords that mean special things. That's a K, right? Keywords that mean special things. That means you have operators. That means you have punctuation. punctuation. There we go. Punctuation. You have identifiers. These are programmer assigned. Okay. So these are things that we have in our syntax, and we have to follow pattern. Oh, Perl. Yeah, that's a lovely one. So let's actually look at an example here. I'm going to start up a new project. So I'm going to go to NetBeans finally. Oh my goodness, it's 8 o'clock. We are running short on time here. I don't want to take up too much more time, but do you folks want to take a break, or you just want to power through for another, 30 minutes? I'm totally up to the, oh, let's see, can I do it? Oh, I can't run a poll from here, can I? That's all right. I could put a poll out there, but that's all right. So tell me if you want to break now, or if you want to just power on for another 30 minutes with no break. All right, I've got my coffee, so I'm up for whatever. Power through. All right, we got 5 votes, 6 votes for power through. We're going to keep going. 7, 8, 9. All right, you got it. So I'm going to start up a new project. So in NetBeans, when you want a new project here, you go to File, New Project. We got all sorts of options here. Now, I typically will tell you to use Java with Ant because I find this the easiest. The downside of this is it did not play well with some of the cool tools I'm going to play with this semester using auto grading, so you get better feedback and better feels for how your assignments are done. So Java with Gradle is going to be the projects you will start with as a template project. So I'll show you that. It's just different ways of building and running Java. It's all sorts of things. Zero what link? I'm sorry. Oh, for a poll? No, I could do a Twitch chat poll, but I don't have the right thing open at the moment. So Java with Gradle here. There's also Java with Maven. Those are just different ways of building Java applications here. Again, any of them will work for now, but when you start a project here using the new Google or the GitHub Classroom thing I have set up, it'll be a Gradle project. So I might as well show you Gradle. So you go next, and it asks, where do you want to put your project? And now I need to actually go set this up for you. So I need to go to my GitHub here, and I'm going to make a repository for my code for all the code examples you will find in class here. I'll make a new repository, and I'll show you this in a minute. Sorry, we're going to talk about GitHub stuff. My goodness. Okay. This is CIS 1500, summer 2021. All right, this is a public repository. I want to read me a git ignore. Git ignore tells Git not to add certain things here, and I will just pick an MIT license for fun, because why not? Okay. Boom, we have a repository. Then I'm going to click this little big green code button, say open in GitHub Desktop, and because I'm logged in, it's going to open it up, and it's going to make a folder for me. It defaults to my documents in GitHub. That's fantastic. Leave it there. If you want to move it, move it. I don't really care. Just know where you put it. So I like defaults, because defaults are usually easy. So we put that link out here. So this will, I'll post this later tonight as well. So all of the code examples I do in class will live here. Now you have 2 fantastic buttons. You have View on GitHub, and you have Show in Explorer. So View on GitHub will open up the github.com website for your repository, because you guys will be using repositories to submit code to me instead of attaching Java files in D2L, because D2L is a course management tool, not a tool for code. Right, so I don't put any code in D2L, because that is terrible. I think that's awful. So all my code examples will go here. And what it does is it makes a folder in my computer. The Show and Explore button says, here's my folder. Let me make this a little bit bigger for you. It's in my documents, GitHub, CIS 1500. There's a bunch of files here. There's a .git folder. Leave that alone. Don't touch .git. Okay? Git ignore tells Git don't add certain types of files. So typically anything that you can generate, you don't need to add to source control. You just want to add your source code. There's the README file, my license file. Fantastic. So I'm going to grab this path. You click here, and it'll grab a path. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to put it here in NetBeans and say, hey, put my project over here, please. And this is Hello World. Sure, we'll just do a little Hello World project. And we say finish. Come on, let's load. In NetBeans, you get a project view. That's fine. Why it's complaining. My theme is sort of there. I have the dark mode, but not everything is dark. There's a really cool plugin. Shoot, where'd it go? I want the Darkula plugin. Hang on, I gotta go download that because this is driving me crazy. NetBeans, Darkula. Dracula theme, is that it? I thought it was a different one. Yeah. Darkula. That's what I thought it was. Did I spell it wrong? Oh my goodness, is it not loading? Oh no! Is it gone? There's no plugin. I broke it. Oh, it's just not loading now. Okay. Nope. Rip. Okay. I might be dead. Crap. Let's see. Maybe? Is anyone still there in chat? Did I lose you guys? Let's see if I'm still there. Okay, you still there? Alright, I don't know what's going on then. Why is that not working? Alright, maybe it's just a bad link. Add plugins, I gotta have a plugin file. Darkula. This one it? Oh goodness. Yeah, that one doesn't work. Come on. I want dark mode back. This is what I get for uninstalling my previous NetBeans. I screwed it up. I had it working and now it's gone. Read me. Oh. Nothing. What's the issue here? Oh, man. Alright, I'll use it like this and it's terrible. And I'll just feel bad about it. The dark mode is much better. But I apparently can't fix that right now. It's a fonts and colors. I want just dark mode. This one's gonna be old. Yeah, tools available. I wonder if it's still available. Available. Sort by name. Nope. I lost it. Why did I uninstall? Darkula LAF. We just gotta go find it, right? Tools, plugins, install right from there. Available. Download it. Add a plugin. Nope. None of that. Come on, friends. Use the plugin portal. That's not it. Shoot. Alright, I'm sorry. I'm spending way too much time on that, because I really want my dark mode back. Oh, this is terrible. This is really terrible. You can't even see anywhere I'm clicking now. This is awful. Why did I reinstall? Alright, one more time. Let's try this. That means how to use it. Look and feel. GitHub repository. Oh, right here. There we go. Aha! Tools, plugins, available plugins. I want this one. Of course, it just doesn't load. This is terrible. feel. All right, is this it? In NetBeans. Download that. Yes, keep it anyway. I had it before, and I had this idea that I would uninstall NetBeans so you could watch it. That was a bad plan. That was a bad plan. Had to plug in. Downloads. Jar files. What is it called? Darkula.jar. Why is it not there? Did it not actually? It didn't actually save it. Why is this? It's right there. Darkula.jar. Almost there, folks. I'm sorry. You can't like see it without it. There it is. Can we do that? Didn't add. Oh my god, not help. All right, we'll just make do, and this is terrible, and I will try and fix it for you later. I'm so sorry. Okay, so anything here in blue is a reserved word. That's like package, public, class, public, static, void. Those are reserved words. So that means they mean special things to Java. You notice there are semicolons, there are curly braces, there are parentheses, there are square braces, all sorts of interesting syntax here. Okay, this is really going to drive me nuts. Figure out how to install Darkula plugin. I know! It works like so easily before, and now I'm so upset. NetBeans. Darkula. Like, this is the first issue. This should be a good hit. And they crossed it all off. Okay, so it would look so nice and pretty. Is it just down? I don't understand. I don't know. All right, that is fine. It's fine. Right, one more try. Dark. Wonder if I still have it downloaded. Nope. All right, I give up. Although I said that before. So those are reserved words. Then we also have keywords, right? Or those reserved words. We have our operators, our punctuation, our identifiers. So over in the project view, you can open it up and you have source packages and you have a .java file. No, like it's not in. Oh, after I install it? Okay, that's worth a try. Save all. Let's close NetBeans and reopen it. Oh, man. Oh, it's updating. Maybe. I have hopes. All this to show you the little Hello World project. So close. Nope. Tools, plugins. Download it, install it, nothing here. Nope. No, not the help button. That's all right. So your project view, that's fine, has main.java. So if I go look at that folder, remember I said it's just a folder here in Git. There's a Hello World folder. So when you create a project, it makes a folder with the project name inside of that is a bunch of other files. Build, Gradle, properties, those are all fine. That's how we build our project here. There's a source folder. Inside of source is now another folder. This one here is named main here. So we're going to look inside of the main folder. Inside of that is our Java folder. One more time now. So main Java is where all of our Java code goes. Then there's a Hello World folder. So Hello World is the package name. So in Java, folders are packages. Inside of that, you'll see a main.java. So that is this file right here. You can open this up in anything you want. Like a Notepad, sure, why not? And it's the same thing. It's just a text editor. So here it is in Notepad. Look at that. So pretty. Okay, so that's where we're keeping our code here. So public class main, the name of the class here has to match the name of the file. Our tool does this for us automatically. Make sure that we get the right name. You can change this if you want when you made the project. Sure, no problem. We could. Public static void main, string, square braces, args inside of parentheses, curly brace. This little to-do here, this slash is a comment. This means Java will literally ignore it. So the Java program ignores anything that's a comment. Comments are made for us to leave notes about things in our code. So you can do all sorts of things with comments. There's a really cool standard you could learn called JavaDoc. You can add comments to generate documentation, which is really cool. We're not going to bother. Okay? But this is where all of our application goes here inside of the main method until we get to chapter 5. So everything we do will be inside of main. Then what we can do is we can run a particular command like system.out.println, and then you'll see parentheses and then some quotes, parentheses, semicolon. So every Java command requires a semicolon. Not every line, but every command. So every time we tell the computer to do something, we need a semicolon. Sorry, this looks so terrible. I'm really sad about that. But that's okay. You notice I didn't actually type system.out.println. I typed S-O-U-T, S-out, and then I hit tab. And NetBeans says, oh, here you go, you meant this. It's an autocomplete feature. It is fantastic. You're welcome to type it out by hand. Either way is fine. I am like most programmers, I am ridiculously lazy in that I don't want to do more work than I need to do. Right? I'm efficiently lazy. Right? I'm not going to do things the hard way just to do them the hard way when there's a shortcut. Okay, so efficiency is definitely valued. And what we do inside of the quote marks now, we can put something like hello world. Hello world, because everyone's very first program should be hello world. I don't know who started the trend, but that's what it is. Now, I had typed something. You notice there was like a little star up above. No, that's not right. Like ASDF, sure. Stop changing that for me. That's all right. So if there's a star, it means it wasn't saved. Oh, it just bolded here. I know, I'm sorry. This font here is terrible. Can you see better if I don't highlight the line? I can also zoom it in a little bit more, too. Essentially, Project 0. We'll get there in just a second. So we want fonts and colors. Okay, can I just go back then? Just restore defaults. That's fine. Let's go up to, like, size maybe... Oh, I don't... 36? That's a little big. We'll see. That's a little bit too large, maybe, but all right, tools. Was it okay at 24? Or maybe. Okay, you can see without the highlight. All right. So we have hello world with the semicolon. So now that I'm ready to run my program, I'm going to right click and say run. Run. My goodness. My run button. Come back. No, that's not what we want. I lost it. So confused. It was right there. This little green button here should have been run. Run project. We build the project first. It builds. Does it build? It's building right now. And my little progress bar is going. Oh, goodness. What is going on here? This is what I get for uninstalling NetBeans. Supported class file, major version. Oh, man. Why did I uninstall NetBeans? All right. Not load. Unsupported. Build script. Why does it not like 70? All right. I'm going to try a new project again just for fun here because this worked a minute ago. These. Is it? I should have ignored that error. Test. It's gone. Yep. Okay, I broke it. Oh, come on. All right, we'll just close that. Reload. What errors do we get? Yeah, import the plugins. Can I install Arcula? Alright, I'm restarting IDE. Yeah, I could just use the virtual desktop. That would just work, right? I'm sorry, folks. I guess the uninstall, reinstall was a bad idea. It should just work. This is really depressing. Yeah, if you yes. So the auto template stuff I have set up is all set up using NetBeans. So I think we could probably make it work if we need to. You can just use the repository and delete what's in there, I guess, but none of the auto testing stuff will work. All right, resolve problem. What is wrong here? It's to build. Okay, resolve. Could not use version 60. Why? What? Why is Gradle so dumb? Nothing in here says 60. Build script. Alright, well, forget Gradle. This is stupid then. That'll be a problem. That's okay. Let's try this one more time though without Gradle. Let's go to Java with Ant. Okay. It worked like 3 hours ago, but that's okay. So Java with Ant, a Java application. Let's give this a try. This might be a little bit nicer here. So this is hello world. I need to go delete all that other junk. 1 second. Let me go delete the other hello world junk because let's just get rid of it. All right. Hello world. You can use Visual Studio Code for Java. I don't know about actual Visual Studio itself. So yeah, someone had pretty good luck with VS Code. There we go. And look, now dark mode is a lot prettier. It's resolved Darkula for me, I think. All right, and here now we'll say system out print line, hello world. And now we get a big fat green button. This is the button we want here. So again, you do the same view, source packages, hello world. Here's hello world main. All right, so inside of hello world, we see all of our NB project that's for NetBeans, to note the project, build, manifest, those are NetBeans files. Inside of source is the hello world package. Inside of that is hello world.java. Now life is better. Okay, so now I can hit run. And in my output tab over here in NetBeans, I'm going to see it runs. Oh goodness, one more thing to fix. I'm having no luck today. Yeah, we're using the JDK 16. If you go to the project properties and you go to build compiling, if you uncheck this compile on save, it never worked for me. I don't know why. So uncheck compile on save, then hit run. Now you'll actually get something. There, now we get a hello world. So we can see the computer did what we told it to do. Finally. Amazing, right? Hello world. All right, all of that work just to get hello world. But we're getting there. That's why we're going to do this week 1, right? We got to get all of our tools working here. Okay, and other cool stuff about Java. Let's So what happens in Java is that we get this cool build classes hello world.class. A .class file is Java bytecode. Java bytecode is compiled Java code, which is our plain text Java code here. Java bytecode is run by the Java virtual machine that we install and can work on multiple operating systems. And then the Java virtual machine reads the class files and tells the operating system what to do. It's really cool. But we can't generate a class file if we have errors. So if I'm missing a semicolon here, notice I get a big fat red line and it says, oh, there's a semicolon expected. Occasionally the errors are helpful. If I forget my quotes here and I say hello world without quotes, it says closing parenthesis expected, not a statement, semicolon expected. That's not the most helpful hint there. Is what's happening is we didn't follow the syntax, we didn't follow the rules. When you call print line, you have to give it something in quotes for now. We'll learn how we can give it other things in a little bit. For now, it should be in quotes. Why is hello highlighted? Args is highlighted. It's freaking out. Okay. So if we get red lines and errors, it won't work. Right, we got to take care of those first. So usually we get good hints. They're not always the best. Okay. So because Java class files, which are the compiled code, essentially, is run by the Java virtual machine, we call this an interpreted language. There's some distinction about other languages not being interpreted or not, and that's okay. But it's portable, means you can run it on any computer that has a Java virtual machine, which Oracle works hard now, and Java works hard to make sure it runs on most things. Yeah, you can give it other things. You can give it numbers, right? So print the number 15, and it will print the number 15 or like 42. So that's not a string. Again, we have to get to like chapter 2 to learn about types. So we're just kind of looking at a basic thing here. Okay. You can compile stuff by hand if you want. If you go to like run, you can click this build button, and it will even tell you what it's doing. So it's running Ant here. So Ant is our Java builder. This one's usually much nicer. And it builds this here, which is cool. Creates a jar file. A jar file is like a package of Java files. There's a jar here. And then it runs it using Java and will run a jar here. So what you can do, if you so care, right, and we have this PowerShell tool still open. Let me go back to my documents. GitHub, CIS 1500, summer. Okay, so here's my hello world. So I can run the Java, is it dash version, I want to say? Yeah, it doesn't know where Java is. So I need to go from C:, opendev, Java, or JDK, then Java. The Java exe is what Java runs, right? This is the Java program here. We can then tell it to run a jar file from hello world distributions, hello world jar. So from the command line, I can run my program if I want, and now I get 42 as the output. Sorry, that's kind of small. Oh, whoa, that was the wrong zoom. How's that? Is that any better? You can see I get 42. If I put this back to hello world, hello world, I can never spell it right, and then I build it again. I can do the same thing. I run the jar, I get hello world. So I get the output. Yep, so quote 42 is different. This is a string 42, this is text 42, versus the numeric 42. It's ever so slightly different there. Okay, so I'll put it back to hello world. Yeah, println can print all sorts of cool things. We'll get to that. Again, this is just sort of chapter 1, like can we make something run hello world? Okay, so again, our programming process, right? We need to understand what problem we're trying to solve and figure out how to do it. So we design it, we implement it, and we test it. There's a cool step you can take. Oh, I don't even need my phone anymore. I had that open the whole time. Which is called writing pseudocode. I'm a big fan of pseudocode. We haven't got to anything hard yet where we're going to need it, but the idea with pseudocode is we say, well, what steps are we taking in English? What is our algorithm? Right? What are our steps? And you do this here in English. Right? So for our first project, we just need to print out a bunch of information. So really our pseudocode is, print XYZ, print ABC, print ... So that one's not interesting. Our first project, we'll talk a whole lot more about pseudocode, sort of this process of designing here. We can walk through it. So software engineering is fantastic. Again, it's an entire engineering discipline around writing software with all sorts of interesting steps that we've taken from the actual other engineering disciplines, right? Making physical products, we take into the software realm because there's a lot of discipline that makes for a better product when you're done. Yep, and then procedural programming versus object-oriented programming. We're not going to get a whole lot into object-oriented at the moment. That's the end goal of the class, is we'll get into object-oriented. But procedural says do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ... That's it. Object-oriented is a little bit different. And again, you can do other things, but this is the main idea here. With object-oriented programming is the idea we have objects instead of procedures of step by step by step by step. We get an object, and the idea of an object is it's typically a noun, and objects will have attributes. So I might say mug. So I might have an object called a mug. This is an instance of that object. It has certain attributes, like all mugs will know how much volume they hold, right? Mugs will know what color they are. Mugs will know whether or not they have a handle or not. Mugs will, all those sorts of things. And the ways that you interact with it are as methods. So you interact with the mug by pouring coffee in. You interact with the mug by drinking coffee. Oh, I'm out. Shoot, that's sad. So those are the methods. So that's sort of like how we would go about designing. And we'll talk way more about that later. But the idea is we use objects to encapsulate all the details together into the noun, and we hide away the private details, and we expose a public interface or an API of the public methods that we use to interact. All of that's meaningless because you haven't read chapter 1 yet, but that's sort of the goal, and we'll get there as we go, okay? I promise. We'll get there. All right, so now I'm worried Gradle's not going to work at all, and now I'm super upset. Okay. I'm a little confused, so this might not work, but we'll try it. We'll try and see what happens. If not, we can at least use the repository. So what we're going to do, over in Desire to Learn here, where'd that one go? D2L, no, that one. Okay, there is an assignment out here for Project 0. This is get the tools running and get a little Hello World program. Is the shortcut to typing the main string class PSVM? So this public static void main, if you don't want to type it yourself, public static void main tab will type it for you. Again, when we make a package, you get a file automatically created for you. So that's fine. NetBeans has all sorts of amazing shortcuts, which is really cool. But that is a fun one, Tam. Yeah, I just use this default one here. All right, so in D2L, there's a link here to the GitHub Classroom that I have set up. This is an assignment. Floorjam, if you just click download, that's so weird you guys can't see it. Someone else was having trouble too, but it worked for some of you? I'm a little confused now. Like I thought it was working. Yeah, 0 wasn't working for you. Unavailable quick link. That's crazy. I put it in Discord as well, but you should have an option if you click the little arrow to download, and that might work for you there. I don't think the link is bad. Oh, you can't get it in Discord either? What was that? AUM loco? Oh, from like the announcement doesn't work? Oh, this one here, this syllabus link. Okay, I gotcha. So I need to edit this one. Okay, okay, yeah, if you're using the shortcut from here, I probably screwed that up then. Let me try and fix that link. Because I updated the syllabus, I wonder if that broke it. No. Content. Course info, 1500. There we go. The sound is gone? How about now? Do you hear anything now? Okay, cool. Thanks, Tix. That's the wrong title. I'm in the wrong class here, folks. What is going on here? How did that happen? How did that put me in the wrong class? What did I do? What did I do here? Links. Content. Course information. Syllabus. Update. Syllabus. What the heck is going on here? This is the wrong class. Okay, D2L is weird. Okay, wow. Alright, let's just remove that link then. So this is now available in the content section. Insert a link. Course material. Content, like, it has the right name here. Okay, I think D2L is just freaking out. I'm just going to take it out. That's freaky. That's really freaky. Okay, so in content, hopefully we can get it there. And it's the right one, right? How about now? Can I just click it and view it? I mean, we were just viewing it earlier. Okay, this is the right one. Yeah. All right, I don't know what happened there, folks. I'm sorry. I'm a little stumped. That is puzzling. Okay. Anyway, let's take a look at the assignment. Okay, maybe D2L is just being weird. I hope so. That's freaky. So I need to also tell you to find a learning partner in the syllabus. Work with a learning partner. See. Wonder if this link is going to work then. Discussions. Learning partners. Yes. Can I insert? No. Oh, new window. Sure. Okay. So we're going to write a Java application that outputs the following information using print line statements. Your name, your preferred pronouns, your program/major, your reason for taking this course, what you'd hope to get out of the course, and really it's okay if you just say you just want passing score for credit, transfer credit, it's fine. And anything else you'd like me to know about you. So essentially you do your hello world and you put in a bunch more print lines here. Right, so my name is Eric Charneski here, on and on and on. And what I have here at the top, though, is this classroom link. So let's try this one here. What this does for you here is say, hey, do you want to accept this assignment? I'm trying this GitHub Classrooms. I'm piloting it this semester because it looks really cool. And it should be able to set up some auto grading if I can make Gradle cooperate now, because apparently I broke it, which I'm super confused by, but that's okay. It worked like a couple hours ago. So you click accept the assignment, and then it will make a repository for you. This part's important because I don't want to have to make them for you. So if the link doesn't work, make sure you're logged in, right? Make sure that you can see your GitHub profile and you're logged in here. So you'll accept the assignment here, and I need to actually go do this as my test account over here. So give me a second. Let me come back. Just copy that link. I lost my virtual machine, didn't I? I don't want to do it as my user, but you can do it as your user. The whole OCC user interface could be better. Yeah, usability is hard. That is a hard problem for sure. Definitely. I lost it. Okay, I'm going to try that VMware client again. See if we can get this back. So I have a little test user I can use. And the idea here is it's going to give you a repository with a starter project that you could just open. But if Gradle's not cooperating, that's fine. We can just make our own project. That's okay too. Come on. Firefox. Launch. Anything? Nothing? Task Manager. Do we start Firefox? Is it just slow? Nothing. Firefox. Double click. There's Firefox. Oh, 4 of them are running. Nice. That's awesome. Maybe one of them will start. You're okay with D2 after trying Cengage? Yeah, it's hard. Did it lose Firefox? Did it close? It closed itself. Chrome, Edge, give me a browser. I hate Chrome. Chrome is trash. If that's the only one that opens, I'll just use it. Okay, Edge opened. Get rid of Chrome. It's just a little slower with virtual desktops. So in the discussion post, you can find a learning partner. So when you can partner up with and chat with. I broken it up by synchronous versus asynchronous. Sure, complete the setup. That's fine. Confirm. I don't care. Confirm. Sure. Yes, why not? That's fine. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's just a little slower usually because you have to deal with the virtual machine bit. Oh my goodness. Now it's not going to work. Come back here, grab that link, copy link. Oh, what fun. What fun. Maybe? Oh, okay, did paste it in. There we go, but it stuck it at the end. Just delete everything. Close it all. Can't do anything now. Oh my goodness. All right, but it'll make your repository, and then you can clone it using your GitHub desktop client, and that was the goal. And then what you're going to do is you're going to turn in your URL to the feedback. And if I can get this working, come on, there we go. Okay, it's back. Back, maybe. Nope, I lost it. I'll do it as me. Sure, we'll just try it. We'll just try it. Okay, I will accept the assignment. It says, okay, you accepted. We're configuring your repository. Wait a second, a refresh. You click refresh, and now you get a link. So this is your personal repository with your username on it, your GitHub username. Perfect. That's awesome. Okay. Oh, the name needs to be better. Okay, I'm learning. I'm learning. And then you can click code and say open in GitHub desktop. And yes, we want to clone it. Fantastic. Then the idea here was we could say repository show in Explorer and go open it up in NetBeans. But if that doesn't work because Gradle's being stupid, I can do other things. Okay, so here's our repository here. Awesome. I'm going to come to NetBeans and say file open project. And I'm going to put that path in here and open up project 0. Yes, resolve. Okay. Yep, okay, so Gradle's stupid. Okay, so forget that. We'll just make our own project here. So we'll come to Java with Ant because Ant's working. Don't put it in this one here, right? Go browse to that path. Find your project 0 with your name on it, and we can call this project 0. I'm going to go delete that other one here. I mean, you can call it anything you want. I'll figure it out. 0. All right, and then we will go and do those things we needed to do. So I'll go do mine, and then you should just be able to follow along here. So I'm going to have a bunch of these print lines here because I need to print my name, my pronouns, my program, why I'm taking the class, my goals for the class, and what do I want to get out of it or something like that. Let's see. Right here. Okay. All right, my name first. Easy. Eric Chernesky. Done. There's one. Pronouns. He, him. Done. Program and major. Engineering. Doctor of Engineering program is my current program. The reason I've taken this course. I'm the teacher. What I hope to get out of it is you folks learn Java. And love it, possibly. Maybe you'll learn to love Java. Anything else you'd like to know? I'm a nerd. Okay. Cool, and I hit run. I get my output. Great, I'm all set. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to the GitHub client. It should say a bunch of things changed. That's okay, because I deleted a bunch of things. So red things are deleted, green things are added. Fantastic. Eventually there's a .java file in here somewhere. So just leave everything that changed. That's perfect. In Git, you need to make commits. A commit is a snapshot of the folder at that point in time. So this is the snapshot at this point in time with all of these changes here. I'm going to say this is project 0 done. You have to give it a message here. You give it a commit summary. Don't worry about the description. You say commit. Once you've committed, you have your version locally, but github.com doesn't have it. So now my button up here says push. I can push my changes to my repository. Hey, Ian, can I come say hi? Come on. Come here. Oh, hi. This is my cat. Right there. Right there. Say hi. Say hi. I have 3. I actually just got 2 kittens, and I post pictures of them in the Pets Discord channel. Ian, they all say hi to you. So great. So now that this button says fetch, I can go to repository, view on GitHub. And what's fantastic about GitHub is they get paid to store people's source code, so they're not going to lose yours. There's no dog ate my homework, my computer had trouble. If you commit and push, then your code will be in github.com. And what you can see now, you can go look at your code. So Project 0 is a link you can click. Source is a link you can click. Project0.java is a link you can click. You can see your code. So if you see your code on github.com, I'll be able to see it on github.com. That's fantastic. What I'd like you to turn in is this pull request button up here. It says pull requests, feedback. You click that, and your URL says, here's your repository /pull1. This here is a pull request to say, hey, I want to merge my code. I want to put my code in. Again, the process is a little more complex than we need to worry about. That's okay. And we're going to do one of these for every project. What's cool here is I can go to this files changed section, and I can go find your Java file in here somewhere. There's a bunch of other nonsense. Don't worry about it. And at each line number, I can leave a note here and say, oh, that sounds cool, or something. And I can leave comments for you at the line level. So in terms of getting feedback on your code, it's right there, and I can leave notes, and I can say, you know, this, that, whatever it happens to be. Fantastic. Okay, so GitHub is a collaboration tool for source code. We're going to use it for our projects. 6 dogs, yeah. So GitHub is fantastic. We're not going to put any code in Desire to Learn because we don't need to. So this is the URL you're going to give me here, this pull one here. You take this, you come to, you come to the D2L assignment. When you go to submit, it's just a text submission. You just paste that link in the box, okay? And ideally, we're working with the learning partner. Go partner up with somebody, probably synchronous people with synchronous people, async people with async people, to make sure you get all your tools installed. You have to download the JDK and unzip it. You have to install NetBeans. You have to point NetBeans at the JDK. You have to get it all up and running. You click the class sub link. Sorry, apparently someone has to go do something. And you'll submit that link, and we're all set. So with every project, I'll also have a rubric for you. So you get your points for doing it or not doing it. So a link to the feedback pull request to submit it is submitted. That to is the wrong word there. So if you submit the right link, you get 1 point. Your Java program outputs the requested information. You get 1 point for that. All your code is committed via Git, not by file upload. There's a way you can upload files. You say add file. Please don't use it. It's terrible. Don't do it. Use the GitHub client. Put files in the right directory, and it will just watch for them. You can commit and push. It's due before class next week, because I need to make sure everyone has their tools up and running. So it's 5/17 by 6 p.m. Yep. So in order to do anything further, we need to make sure all these tools are working. I'm going to export it out to YouTube in just a second here. As soon as we click finish, you can also watch the Twitch VOD immediately. Oh man, it's almost 9. I'm sorry. It took a little longer than I wanted. Again, because my tools sucked after reinstalling. I apologize. I'll get that all figured out. You don't need Darkula. Just the dark mode makes me happy. Because everything else just hurts my eyes. And I'm sad it's not a default. But, alas. Yeah, King. Blowfish, I mean, you can build anything you want by command line, sure. I need you to commit to the repository here in the GitHub Classroom and give me the feedback pull request URL. As long as you're using, so you get a point for using Git, great. If you don't want to use NetBeans, you don't have to use NetBeans. For this, in the future, the NetBeans auto-grading stuff is going to need you to use NetBeans. Because that's sort of the goal there. Although if I can't get Gradle to work, then I might just cry. But it was working earlier, so I think I just did something wrong in NetBeans. I'm not really sure. Probably a reboot. All right. So any other questions, thoughts, concerns? You folks know how to get a hold of me. Yep, you're going to take this URL right here for your pull request, copy that into D2L. Yeah, but not mine, right? You'll do the one for yours. So you click the link, it'll make you a repository. You'll download the repository locally with the clone here. You get the GitHub client. Start a NetBeans project in that directory, right? And we should be all set. If you have trouble, talk with your learning partner first, right? See if the two of you can puzzle it out. If you can't, please reach out, and I'm happy to help. Again, I don't have my set office hours yet. I can do everything by appointment. Pretty flexible come summer, except for 5 to 10 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Other than that, I'm pretty flexible. Over the weekends, I can if we need to. I know some people only really have free time on the weekends. That's typically when I'm doing family stuff as well, so it's a little harder to schedule things. But so if you want to schedule someone with me, shoot me a couple times. Suggest like, hey, how about this time or this time or this time, and I should be able to make one of them work. Okay. All right, it's been fun. Sorry that was so long. We got Project Zero. I will also be posting the quiz for Chapter 1 shortly as well. So you have a quiz over Chapter 1. Again, open book, open notes, open internet, right? The questions are true, false typically, or short answer style. But if it's true, false, if the statement is false, you have to correct it and make it true. So almost like a short answer, like what is wrong with this statement here? Why is it true? If it's true, you just put in true. But if it's false, you need to correct it. And the question will tell you that. Okay? All right, awesome. Let me save and close. Should be good to go. And I will see you folks next week, unless I hear from you in office hours. Don't forget, Wednesday, 5 to 6 will be our study group. I'll post a reminder here shortly for that as well for you. So that'll be over a Zoom session with Mr. Tim, our amazing SI. And I'll post a recap of tonight as well. All right, it's been fun. Should we see, is there anyone else out in Twitch land that we should go pester? Because it's common courtesy to go send a raid out at somebody. We'll see. It's getting late, so we probably have a couple people out already. Let's see who's around. Let's see. Gonna go do some chemistry. We could do that some chemistry with Dr. Young's lab. That might be fun. Let's see if we can do that. Oh, shoot, I did the wrong button. Give me a second. I gotta get this loaded. Oh, raid. Young's lab. All right. Head over that way. He's an awesome lecturer over at one of those really smart universities somewhere. I forget where. What do Vikings and Twitch streamers have in common, King? I don't know. What do they have in common? They both love to raid. I love it. All right. Take care, everybody. See you around.